our home state, Florida. I love this state and I love the people of this state. In 5 days from now, we are going to win Florida. We are going to win Florida. To win a record share of the Hispanic American voters. They're very concerned back there. The fake news, they are so concerned.
Fake news, you saw!
We've led Florida every single day. What's going on? This is a terrible thing for them. Actually, it's a good thing for them, they just don't know it. They haven't quite figured that out yet. Now we're doing incredibly in Florida, we're doing incredibly all over. And this isn't based on polls, this is based on fact. This is based on votes that are coming in. You have to get out and vote. We are creating the greatest red wave in the history. Country with the big tech, you know the power of big tech? No, I heard about the power for a long time, the power of big tech. I heard about it 4 years ago. Sir, big tech is against you, they're tremendously powerful. You can't beat them. Then we had the election, we won. I said, oh, how did that happen? And the fake news media, 94% of the stories about us are negative. Think of it. Think of it. 64% of the stories about Sleepy Joe are positive. How the hell do you have a positive? How do you have a positive story about him? This election is a choice between my plan to deliver historic, and you know what this is going to be, right? Historic. This is historic prosperity. Another major tax cut to go along with the biggest tax cut in the history of our country. Job growth, and Joe Biden's plan is to deliver punishing lockdowns. He's going to lock you down. Open up. You have a great governor. Did he speak too long today or not? No, I watched him on the plane. I said, oh, look, there's Ron. You know, they have the little thing and the box. I said, oh, look, there's Ron. He's speaking. He looked like he was up there a long time. He said yes. He's a great governor. You have a great governor. He's a great guy. They want to give you massive tax hikes. It's the first time that I've ever seen. I've been with politics all my life, essentially. Only doing this for a few years on this side of it. But we've done well, haven't we? The senator came into my office and said, sir, nice guy, total pro. So I've been in 9 races and I've won 7 of them. So and I'm a United States senator. Since Senate, I've been 1 race and I've won 1. I was the presidency. We took them all by surprise, didn't we? We took them by surprise. They're still trying to recover. And you will have a crippling depression, the likes of which you've never seen if Sleepy Joe becomes your president. And your 401ks, throw them out the window because you know what's going to happen. And you know our stock market has a big headwind. The headwind is if he wins, and we are doing great. Do you see the number today? 33.1 GDP, the biggest in the history of our country. Almost triple, right? Almost triple. Now it's very much bigger than any GDP we've ever had. You have to go back to the 1950s, and then it's less than half. This is the greatest, number 33.1%. You asked me 2 weeks ago, I would have said, I'll take 12%. 12% would have been very nice. Nobody ever heard of 12%. 33.1. And let me tell you what, I never even thought of this. They won't even talk about it. This is the biggest event in business in 50 years. Nobody's ever seen a number like that. This is bigger than any nation. No nation has a number like that. Other nations right now, look, we were compared to Europe. Germany is doing so well. France is doing so well. Everyone's doing so well. No, they're not doing well. And you take a look at what's going on, and we want the best for them. We're on their team. We want to work with them and everything else. But they're not doing well. They're spiking up big. They're shutting down. They're locking down. I disagree with that because we're never going to lock down again. And now we're open for business. And that's what it is. This explosive economic growth is 4 times greater than what the experts expected. They expected a number that would be like 7%, 8%. But here's what's going to happen. You're going to go back home, you're going to say, that was incredible. Melania was unbelievable. The governor was incredible. I've never heard anybody speak like that. Trump was okay too. No. But we have no choice. We have to vote for Trump because it's between Trump and Sleepy Joe and anybody.
What's your best Joe?
I can take a couple of these guys. They're friends of mine. They're not good people. They're better than Joe, I will tell you. Now, do you believe what I'm running against? I'm running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics. I don't care.
He's a cork.
This is the worst candidate in the history. He shouldn't be there because Pocahontas kept going instead of getting out. Then it would have been against Bernie, which would have been fine too. You know what? You would have had a more energetic base if we had Bernie. That's one thing. Because I don't know if they have a base. Here's what's happened. He goes for a speech. They're showing you thousands of thousands. Look, as far as here, all the way back to that building, as far as here. And Biden is leaving his basement today. He took the lid off. You know what he does? He takes the lid off, runs to the closest part of Delaware, like you can get a little piece of Pennsylvania. People in Pennsylvania are wise to him. They know all about his no fracking, no fracking, no fracking. Then he gets to Pennsylvania, he learns it's 1 million jobs. By the way, Pennsylvania, they give us, you can fire up your factories, they give us the energy, and it's inexpensive energy. So he goes to Pennsylvania. All of a sudden he changes, yes, well, I have nothing against fracking, and the press doesn't call him out on it, right? And they don't call him out on where's Hunter. They don't call him out where's Hunter. Hunter in the crowd.
Divided. Talk about
Don't call him out on where's Hunter.
Where is Hunter? Where is Hunter? Where is Hunter? Where is Hunter?
Some people say they don't go from all the experts, right? Guys that ran for president 6, 7, 8 times. Never got past the first round, but they're calling me up. Sir, you shouldn't be speaking about Hunter. You shouldn't be saying bad things about Biden because nobody cares. I disagree. You know, maybe that's why I'm here and they're not. But they talk about your economic success. Talk about 33.1%, the greatest in history. Look, if I do, I'll say it 5 or 6 times in the speech. 33.1. But you look at that, and you look at Tucker Carlson, what he did the other night. Great, and followed up by Sean, and followed up by Laura, and the next day, nothing at all, right? Nothing. Nothing in the New York Times, the fake New York Times. Hey, how about Anonymous? Did we see Anonymous? Hello, Stanford. Anonymous turned out to be a guy. I'm trying to figure out, I don't know who the hell this guy is. So the New York Times said, a senior White House official. Nobody knew who he was. This was look, we are in big trouble with the press. They are truly the enemy of the people. They are the enemy. So this guy goes out. I never saw him. I think he has a picture. He's standing there, like I do with thousands of people. This lowlife lowlife goes out and he writes a book. By the way, when he left, he had nothing but praise for the Trump. Oh, it's incredible, incredible. Then somebody gets him at the New York Times, the fake New York Times, and all of a sudden he becomes nasty. He writes, and they say, a top White House official. Well, he was a staffer, low, had nothing to do with the White House. He had nothing to do. And he goes in, and you know what? There should be major criminal liability for some scumbag. And you know, for a year, everybody walks into my office, Secretary of State Pompeo. I could name every one of them, all good people. I'm looking at them, saying, I wonder if that could be the one. And it turns out to be this lowlife that nobody knows who the hell he is. He had nothing to do with us. I don't think I ever met him, and I might have met him. I think somebody said, he has a picture of me standing someplace. This is a disgrace to our country. It shouldn't happen, and he should be prosecuted. Are you listening to me back in Washington? He should be prosecuted. Along with the New York Times, made up by the New York Times. And you know who he works for now? CNN. He works for CNN. See the camera right there with the light that just went off. See that, honey? That red light just went off. Fake news, CNN, and Anderson Cooper. Said, no, I'm not. And he works for CNN. I would think CNN would be firing him a bit, but this is a real lowlife. You know who else he works for? Google. He works for Google. I think Google should fire him very quickly, because bad things are going to happen to him. But think of what he does to the government. Right? It's like a horrible, treasonous, horrible thing that you can do this and you can get away with it. Weekly jobless claims. This is boring, but it's really good. Just hit a 7-month low. In other words, from the beginning of the pandemic. So we're going to have next year the best year we've ever had. And it's true. Biden is holding back the stock market because, you know, it's an election. Crazy things could happen. Maybe 100% of the people in Florida decide not to vote. You know, you never know. But we have a headwind, so it's gone down a little bit over the last few days because, you know, you're coming close, and it could be. We're going to win this election so big, you watch. And that's the only reason the market's going down. The market's going down because of people. Seriously, you're going to have one of the worst depressions we've ever had. You're going to have John Roberts from Fox. And John Roberts is very unhappy because he doesn't want his 401k to go down. Now, John's but he's been overall pretty good. He's pretty good. So CNN, Google, we got to do something about all of it. New York Times is fake. It's fake. They write so many fake stories. Thanks to our policies, America is experiencing the fastest and biggest recovery. We're having the best recovery anywhere in the world. No other country, small or large, is recovering. In the past 5 months, we've created a record 11.4 million American jobs, the fastest job growth in the history of our country. Our job growth has been 23 times faster than the first 5 months under Obama-Biden recovery, which was, by the way, the worst recovery since the Great Depression. You do know that. And just, you know, because all Biden does is talks about COVID, right? He doesn't call it the China virus. You know why? Because China hasn't paid off. He can't use that term. They gave his son $1.5 billion to manage. He makes millions of dollars a year, I assume, right? The smartest guys on Wall Street said, no, sir, that could not have happened. We can't get it. No, he got it. It took him about, 10 minutes. He walked in, he walked out with $1.5 billion. Hey, maybe he's not so stupid after all. That's the only thing. I thought he was so dumb. Maybe he's not as dumb as we think. He cannot take on China. biggest story, no, the second biggest story. The worst was when they spied on my campaign and they got caught. That's the biggest political corruption story in the history of our country. But this could very well be second. And we have what's called the laptop from hell. From what I've understood, you only have seen a tiny portion of it. But you know what the press is now doing? They're blaming Russia.